Good evening and welcome to the American SimRacing League, and we're live at where? None other than Talladega Superspeedway tonight. The Talladega 250 here with the Elite Series. Going to be some great racing once again this week. I'm Vern Bradley in the broadcast booth. Happy to be here. Just like every week, week in and week out. Good to see you guys and gals starting to get connected and joining in here. Going to be some great racing for you tonight. We're going to bring it to you live right here on the WFO Racing Network on YouTube. And we got warm-up going on right now, so looks like that just started. It'll be probably 9 minutes and 40 seconds of it. Just look in the top right-hand corner, and, you know, the timer's right there, so makes it a little bit easier for a guy. Taking a look at that 7-car right there, Hunter Waters, and I believe I have a different chase breakdown, so everybody can see it, because we are in a chase for the championship. And we're on race number 2 here at Talladega Superspeedway. Maybe an elimination race, too. So there's some guys right there on the bubble on the outside looking in. Justin Gann, Jason Day. Tyler Seville and Jerry Cochran are the guys down there on the bubble. And I guess you could throw Todd Cray in that mix. He holds that spot, but he's dead even with Justin Gann in the 30. And when I say that spot, I'd be talking about the coveted number 8 spot, because you want to be in that top 8 if you're going to cruise to the next round in the championship playoff here. So that's what some of these drivers are going to be going for. And you know how plate racing is. Oh, yeah, it'll be exciting, but it might not be exciting for some of the guys it needs to be, and it might be exciting for some of the guys that it doesn't need to be. One of those drivers right there is Johnny Avila in the 63 car, and he locked himself in last week. So Talladega can be a fun one for him. But a lot of other drivers, it's going to be it'll be a fun one for everybody. But there's some of those guys that are really going to pay attention to the points right here. And they're going to hope to come out of Talladega with a good top 10 finish. And to do that, you got to keep the race car clean. That means stay out of trouble as we're watching the practice race, or what you call a pit party on iRacing. That's where all the drivers are going to practice the start. Few laps of drafting here together with the Xfinity car in the Elite Series here. Makes it fun. Makes it interesting. Get a little bump here, little push there, and the next thing you know, you're either going faster or chaos is breaking out. Not one way or the other. It is one way or the other. It's not both. You see Jeff Yinish in that 89 car leading this pack around. Got Hunter Waters in the 7, John Sanu in the 86. 62, 4th car in line, Stephen Ayers Jr. I think I even seen the 12 back there, Cody Williams. So remember, this is not the actual race, just a little warm-up run right here. Little heat race, little practice. See some 3-wide draft in Talladega. Perfect track to do that. It's plenty wide around Talladega Superspeedway. So you can get 3 wide here with, I guess not so much worry of contact. As you see Jeff Yinish in the 89 pull down out of line. He's going to take a couple of guys with him down there to pit road. And look at that. Down we got a wad up. There's some cars wrecking here. Seen the 9 car, a couple of others get out of shape. Ooh, and one of them come across the track. There's some 3 wide there with the 63, Johnny Avila. Last week's winner. He don't even have a back left to the car. There's another car sliding off into the infield. Good thing it's practice, because there's a lot of these guys that they got some bent parts or they're missing a couple things. But that's what these practice runs are for. You're going to send it and bend it, this is the time to do it, no doubt. So the point situation, though, I give you some names out there. This driver, the 63, Johnny Avila, he's locked into the next round. And looking good on points, the driver of the 73 car, Joseph McWhorter. Bentley Glacier. Steve Yenish. Hunter Waters is I reckon he's about 10 back right there. Jesse Bonnell, he's in it still. Jeff Yenish. Well, all of them are still in it, obviously. The thing about it, as we watch the cars get wadded up here in this practice, the thing about it is basically everybody is still in it. So it's just a matter of who's going to stay there. Who's going to be in that top 8. Take a look at some things here in the points, and I'm just matching to make sure that that is all correct. And it is. So we're good there. So yeah, your drivers, you got Gann and Todd Cray tied as far as the points go, but Todd Cray listed first is probably based off of finishing orders and stuff, if I had to guess. And then you have Jason Day driving the 52 car. He's 4 points behind those guys. Tyler Seville in the 11 is 6 points back. Jerry Cochran, the third in the 73, is 6 points back as well. So Talladega could change that around for any driver. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, it's the unknown at Talladega that probably makes it the most interesting. It's not the known, it's just the unknown. So as a driver, especially one of those chase drivers, if you're looking to maybe gain some spots, you got to have a good run here. And part of having a good run is keeping the car clean and hoping and trying your best as a driver not to get caught up in someone else's mess out here. Because that's when things go badly. And it could go badly for your chase, your chances. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that hurts it. So we wish all those chase drivers good luck out here tonight. Jesse, how you doing? Good to see you in this stream. I know Todd likes going in and seeing the comments, so that's awesome. You come in every week for him and give him the shout out. Where is Todd's car? Let's go find it real quick for you. Oh, if I just knew how to work these cameras. There we go. We found it. 21 car Todd Cray right here. Looks like he might be coming off a pit road. Got about a minute and a half left in the practice, minute and 50 seconds. I don't know. Almost 2 minutes. We'll do it that way. And Cray in the 21 is going to come out right there behind Justin Gann, which coincidentally is also, I believe, his teammate and who he's tied with in points there in the top 8. So I'm sure they're going to try to work together to move their self up higher on the ladder, so both of them are safely into that top 8. So I'd look for these two cars to be a magnet here at Talladega. And with about a minute and 5 seconds to go, minute and 4 seconds, we're going to get ready here for the initial start of the Talladega 250 with the American SimRacing League's Elite Series. So grab your drink, get ready. We're about ready to do Well, we're going to do some racing, no doubt about it. And it's Talladega, so anything could happen. You don't want to walk away. You'll miss something, I promise you. And we're just trying to get a camera on some of these cars right here in the warm-up. Of course, show you some of the good-looking paint schemes that are out here, and some of them are on pit road. So, right here, last week's winner, 63, Johnny Avila. He's going to jump out of his car. Jerry Cochran III needs to score some points right here, and Talladega is a great place to sneak some away. So you keep an eye on drivers like that in the 72 car. Chuck Sweeting in the 75, I've seen him sitting there. And is that it for that? Yeah, we're lining up. Look at that. Let's get, well, that's not going to get us to the front of the field, so we're going to try that all over again with restarting our timing and scoring. That'll get us to the front of the field. And we're going to do that, and let's get your starting grid out. Starting P1 on the field tonight. Look at that. The brothers on the front row. That 27 car, Steve Yenish, fastest time in qualifying. To his outside, though, you're going to find the brother right there, Jeff Yenish, in the number 89 car. So great start for those two. Starting on the front row here. So starting third tonight, you'll see Chuck Sweeting in the 75 car right there. And to his outside in fourth, that's going to be the 86 car, John Sanu. What's up, MMO? So fifth tonight is going to be the 90, Kyle Bromer. And to his outside in sixth, you'll find that number 40 car, Charlie Woods. Starting seventh tonight, that's going to be Hunter Waters driving that car. On his outside in eighth, that'll be Adam Matz in the 9 car. I'm trying a different format, so it's throwing me off. Ninth tonight, Paul Crumry driving the number 3 car. And in 10th to his outside, last week's winner, Johnny Avila in the 63. 11th tonight's going to be that 51 car of Jason Mullis, and to his outside will be Justin Gann in the 30 car, starting 12th. 13th tonight, you're going to see the number 19 of Dwayne Hunt. And in 14th will be the 72 of Jerry Cochran. Starting 15th tonight, that's going to be Todd Cray in the 21 car. And to his outside in 16th, you're going to find Stephen Ayers Jr. in the 62 car. So Jason Day's 52 is going to bring up the 17th starting position. And to his outside in 18th, you're going to find Tyler Seville driving the number 11. 19th tonight, that's Patrick DeSalinier in the 93 car. And to his outside in 20th, you'll find the 96 car of Jesse Bonnell. Ray Polking will be bringing out the 21st or the 46 car in 21st, and his outside in 22nd will be the 43 of Richard Fletcher. Dakota Floyd is going to be starting a 57 car in 23rd position. To his outside in 24th, that's going to be that number 5 of Gary May. Bentley Glaser in the 24 car will be 25th, and his outside is going to be the 73 car, Joseph McWhorter. William Kemp is going to, well, actually, yeah, Kemp's going to roll off 27 here tonight. He's going to have Cody Williams in 28th. 29th is going to be the 91 of Levi Poland, and he'll have the 74 of Dylan Butler to his outside in 30th. That's going to do it. I got 30 cars right there, and I got 30 cars on my grid over here. So that's your starting grid here. As they're going to pace behind the pace car and get ready for the initial start to this race right here at Talladega Super Speedway, the 250. 2.5 mile speedway, Talladega. Big track. Big track and a lot of fun, and 94 laps are going to make up the distance tonight. Yeah, I talked to Michael last week, and he said he's got the computer ready to go, so it's good to see him coming out of retirement. And, man, it's been a long time since I've seen you in the chat. It's really good to have you in there. I hope everything's going good. As we got the pace car in, the green flag's out. We're racing in Talladega with the American Sim Racing League's Elite Series. Steve Yinish in that 27 car. He's got an ally right now in the 75 car, Chuck Sweeting. 89 car, though, Jeff Yinish, outside lane. He's got a little help from the 86 of Johnson New. Is it going to be enough help? We'll see. We got a car bouncing out of line. 2 of them now. That's common here at Talladega. Sometimes guys just want to jump to the back, maybe try to avoid some chaos that might ensue. Sometimes it works for you, and hey, sometimes it don't. That's Talladega. Took a week to talk him into it. That's funny. Yeah, I understand that completely. Kind of like MTV years ago, right? Video killed the radio star. Watching this front row, the two brothers do battle is pretty awesome. Steve Yinish, 27 car, 89 car, Jeff Yinish. You got a couple, though. Johnson, Chuck Sweeting making that happen. They got the bumpers laid to those lead cars. And Johnson, really giving the 89 a good push right there. That's going to put the 89 car briefly to the front, but now the 27 car is going to come back. And we can do this all race long. It's just going to keep swapping back and forth. It'll keep swapping back and forth between the two. So maybe we ought to go back around. Let's see who we're going back to. 5th. 40 car. Now he's 6th. The 40 car, Charlie Woods. I hear that. Well, they're for the most part 2x2 out on the racetrack, but I'll tell you the third line it's trying up there, and I'm thinking that might be the 73 car, Joseph McWhorter. So we'll get the camera up closer there, and that's exactly who it is. So McWhorter making a little noise on the high side. He's got the 09 right behind him. And 09's William Kemp. So these guys are trying to make up some ground. I think right now, this early in, you got 94 laps. We're 494, so 90 laps to go. They're probably feeling it out up there on that outside line, if I had to guess. But you got another driver that joined in with them, and that's Johnny Avila, the 63 car. So we got possibly even a 93 of Patrick DeSalinier. And I'm looking at the 21 car, Todd Cray there, and I'll be honest, it looks like he may have a little damage on the back of that car. And I'm going to chalk that up to the start of the race. And it looks like someone got into him pretty good, which tells me they're going to have damage to the front of their car. But, I mean, it was good enough that it bent the rear spoiler in on the 21 car. So I don't know which one of them has damage on the back of their car. Or on the front of their car, but we're going to try to find out. Like the 46 might have some. Ooh, yeah, I'm pretty sure that might have been what matched up to the back of the 21 car, honestly. And that happens. I mean, when you get going here, you got 30-car fields, and there's checkups and everything. And I'm kind of digging the camera view, especially when we get up here to the 3 wide. This shows you how close it is, how much these guys are concentrating, and how insane that the race in action can actually be. Chuck Sweeting, 75 car, 63 car, Johnny Avila, 90 car, Kyle Bromer. That's what you're watching here, the 7 of Hunter Waters, down on your bottom right. Let's go far chase, see what we see. Just a little different angles for you right here at Talladega Super Speedway. And this is at the front of the field. Those guys started that third line out there, and they drove it all the way to the front. So Johnny Avila with the help from Joseph McWhorter is going to go to the front of the field here at Talladega right now. If you're a fan of any other driver, don't be worried because there's still plenty of laps to go. You see Avila, though, he's going to let the 73 go, and he's going to jump down to the bottom row, pick up the 27 car. And now the 27 jumps out of line, and he heads up towards the top row. So Steve Yenish lost the lead, but I don't think it's going to be for long. I think the 73 is hungry to get up there himself, so he's going to give the 27 a push that puts him to the front of the field once again. Now the 73 is going to hope for a little help right there from the 7 car, Hunter Waters. And hot dang it, we got a race going on here at Talladega. We showed up for a broadcast and a race broke out. That's right. I got a message here I probably need to read, but let's get that out of the way to clear them out, right? Yeah, so I got the race info for you here, too, just like every week. We got some previous winners, fall of 2020 in the trucks. Jason Mullis pulled out a Talladega win here. Spring of 2021, though, in the Cup car, Ross Cato picking up that win. Paul Crumry, a winner here in the Xfinity car in the summer of 2021. Yeah, it's just me in the booth there, MMO. Michael McCauley come in, I think, once with me this season, but he got him a new rig set up with a direct drive wheel. So McCauley's been doing some racing on that, I think. So I'm gonna look for. I think Crumry is in the field. I thought I seen him earlier, right there, 3 car, 28th position. So he's a previous winner in the Xfinity car here. And that was the summer of 2021. And we got Jesse Bunnell in the 96 car. Another previous winner here in the Cup car in American Sim Racing League. And that was actually in the fall of 2021. So the spring of 2022, that 90 car found victory lane. And that's going to be Kyle Bromer. And we just seen him a second ago. I'll try to find his car once again. Right there. There's the 90 of Bromer. Then another winner here in the fall 2022 in the Cup car. That's the 7 car, Hunter Waters. So he's sitting up there in the top 3 positions. I think that's what that is. Oh, we'll say by car number. Oh, we did it by position here. Yep. So the rules tonight, though, race is 94 laps or 100 minutes. We're going to get a stage break at lap 25, so we'll have to keep that in mind if a caution comes out around lap 25 or 6. They got 3 extra sets of tires on top of what they started with here tonight. 100% tank of fuel and approximately 35 laps per tank of fuel here. And we'll see 3 green-white checkers if needed, so there you go. That's your rundown, your rules, your previous winners, all of them. Should be no questions there. We're just going to look for the stage break to come. About twice the distance from now on lap 25. Man, I used the G29 or 920 for a long time. I'm sure you can stretch that thing out. So I want to get back up to the front. Front row now, 73 car, Joseph McWhorter, 63. Johnny Avila, that's your front row. Second row, Hunter Waters, Steve Yenish, 27 and 7 car. Chuck Sweeting still holding on up there. He's in the top 5 or 6. We've seen some cars shift around, but we're clean and green now for 12 laps. So these drivers doing a great job. Takes a lot of concentration when you're racing in a draft this close together. Not to make contact with somebody. that triggers a wreck. So I don't know. I bet their palms are sweating. That's all I can say. Get a drink of my ice cold water I got sitting here. Keeps the throat from drying out too much while we're doing this broadcast, and all is right in the world at that point. Look at this 63 car getting help from that 73. He's got the 27 right behind him. He's using both drafts. Johnny Avila won last week, locked himself into the next round, and he's not holding nothing back. He's having a good time out there. This is just for fun for that driver at Talladega. And these other guys, though, some of them that haven't locked in, 27 car, 89 car, 73 car. At this point, the only one that's punched his ticket to the next round is a driver in the 63 car. He don't hold nothing. He need to hold nothing back. Don't matter at what point in the race. He just wants to go out and have fun, and I'm sure he'd like to be the spoiler right here at Talladega Super Speedway. And he's got a good shot of it. He's going to get a good push right there from the 7 car. And the outside line is going to prevail. That's going to put the 63 ahead of the 73. Now the 70 car Hunter Waters is going to get a little help. Working the high side line, so the 7 car might be the next benefactor here. We're going to find out. We got one car that jumped up to that 3rd lane, but he doesn't have any help at the moment. So I don't think those cars on that 3rd row behind him are close enough. It has been clean and green now for 14 laps. Talladega Super Speedway, side-by-side racing, a lot of 3-wide action so far in the first 14 laps, and just been a good one. Yeah, you got to get on that thing and turn some laps, knock the dust off of it. There, MMO, and these guys definitely no dust on these wheels. They're using them tonight, the wheels and the pedals. 73 car. Joseph McWhorter, 63. Johnny Avila, 27. Steve Yenish, 7 of Hunter Waters. That's your top 4. Who's your top 5? I don't know. 75 car, 09 car. It's one or it's the other. And it changes at least 52 times a lap, and we're not going to keep track of that. We're going to go with it here. Oh, look at that. 63 got pinched off to the middle. And that might inadvertently form a 3rd lane. But the 73 is going to take the 27 with him, and he's going to go back to the front. Now the 7's going to pull down to the center line, and that's going to leave the 09 with no help on the outside line. And the 27 said, I think I see an opportunity to take it to the outside. And now he's going to go for the lead. And he gets it right around the 73. Will he go back to the bottom? He does. So it looks like the guy gets a chance that's in second. He'll jump to the high side, and he'll take the run. Now the 73, though, the 27 moved back up. He's going to get pinched to the middle. So Steve Yenish, oh, he just cleared it to get back to the outside line. Saving grace. Yeah, that's awesome to hear. So 27, Steve Yenish working the high side, getting a little help from the 7 car. 75 giving the 73 a push. And the 73 fighting back on the bottom now. Chuck Sweeting in the 75 car lending a big hand there to that 73. But I'll tell you, the 7 car Hunter Waters working flawlessly on that high side, working the back of the 27 car. And keeping him out front another lap. So Steve Yenish is going to lead that time by. Lap 18, little bit of movement, though, on that outside line with those three cars, 27, 7, and 63. And you got to watch. I know that bumping down the straightaway is one thing, but I'll tell you, if you get a hold of each other in a corner wrong, and that's where all things can go bad, and they're going to hang the 27 out. So Yinish is going to drop back in the middle. 7 car going to take help from the 63. And the 27's going to fade back in the center a little bit. Remember, when we get inch closer to the end of the stage, there is also points for the top 10. So the top 10 in the stage, the winner and the 9 behind them, they're going to score stage points at the end of the first stage, and we're inching closer to it. So if you're racing for a championship at the end of these stages, you want to be in the top 10. You want to be able to maximize every point you can get. So take advantage of the stage breaks, and that's what you're going to find some of these drivers doing when we get to some of them that we're back there, like where's the 21 car at right now? He's right there on the outside line, and he's sitting in 11th, so he's 1 out from scoring stage points. And, again, that changes lap after lap. So I'm sure a lot of these guys up here, Steve Yinish holding on to the top 9 or 10. That's how far he fell back from the center. Another one. The one that's locked in, though, is right here in 4th. So he's occupying one of those point-scoring positions. You got the 73 leading, trying to maximize his point and doing everything necessary right now. But with 5 or 6 more to go, that's just going to swap around. There's only so much that guy can help you behind you on the track like that, because it's going to cause his car to warm up and overheat, and he's going to have to duck out of line a little bit to get some air to the nose of that car to cool it back down. And that's why you see the inside line surge ahead and then the outside line surge back ahead. So just depends on which one of those guys behind those 2 front cars has a cooler engine, honestly. So right now it's proven to be the 75 of Chuck Sweeting helping out the 73 car of Joseph McWhorter. Hunter Waters, though, he's got help from the 63, Johnny Avila. And now look at that. The outside line's going to get a little run, and we got some 3-wide action. And I'll tell you, you guys and gals don't want to see who's on that top line. And it's just like I said, this is where it starts. Todd Cray in the 21 car working the high side, 3rd lane. Trying to get it going, and right now it's got the 21 car propelled into the top 10, and that's what I'm talking about. Get close to the end of the stage? Nope, it's not close to the end of the race, just the stage. But at the stage you score points in, maximize points. Get into that top 10, because they're the only ones that are going to score points here and make these stages important. Todd Cray's in there, Steve Yinish, Johnny Avila, but he's locked in with a win. Hunter Waters, Joseph McWhorter. There you go. They're trying to maximize their points here. I seen the 89 car somewhere. He's not too far back. Or am I wrong? Yep. No, he's up there too. He's actually working the 3rd line and pulling up behind his brother. And Todd Cray's moving up a couple of more. He scored in 8th. He's going to jump into the middle line right here. Lap 23 of 94 right now. Now 3rd line's going to get some more help. That's going to let the 21 possibly move up farther or maybe drop back as that outside line starting to gain some steam and get some momentum here. So I figured we'd see 3 wide when we come to the end of this stage, and they're not disappointing. Heck, we may see 4 wide before we get there. We got a couple laps here still. And these drivers are putting on a show for you at Talladega Speedway, the American SimRacing League's Elite Series. And you want to talk about how good of a show it is? They put 23 laps of green flag racing in for you so far. And I promise you they're going to give you at least 94 of those laps tonight. So that third line, though, starting to make a little bit of noise up there. It's getting louder. You can see it, hear it. Hell, when that whole group thunders by, you almost feel it. Definitely getting loud. 73 car, 3 wide for the front. 73, 63, I don't know, 27 car. 7 car, Hunter Waters in the middle, 63. On the inside line and the high side's got the 09 of William Kim. We're going to come up to 25 this time, which may bring the caution next time around. So we're going to find out. Coming up to that stage break, waiting for that caution flag. You want to be in the top 10. That's how you score stage points here. Todd Cray still trying to finish there. He's hanging in there for now, but that's where he wants to be when they finish or up a little farther. These guys are really starting to push on each other a little bit down the back straightaway, and that's when bad stuff can happen. Hunter Waters, though, surging to the lead. The middle line having the momentum. Oh, is it going to be enough? They get lined up, those first 2 rows do. Third line kind of fizzled out right now. Nothing going on but coming up to the line. Who's it going to be at the line? It's going to be the 7 car, Hunter Waters. Going to take that stage win right there. And that's the kind of racing that put on for Jess. Todd Cray right here in the 21 car. Got up to 6th. So he's going to score stage points, and that's what it's all about. Get yourself in the top 10. Get those points, maximize it, especially if you're one of these championship drivers. And who knows, by the end of the race, you might have been, 6 down coming in, and when you leave here, you might be 2 up. You might be 1 up. But it doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2 up because you're still up. You're not down, right? Enough of that, though. There's plenty of drivers here racing tonight, and plenty of them would like to spoil it. 63 car, Johnny Avila, been running up front since the start. 75 car, he's another one that's been up there. Chuck Sweeting, he doesn't have a dog in the fight when it comes to the championship. Jesse Bennell certainly does. 62 car, though, he doesn't have a dog in the fight there either, but he'd like to get a win out of here. There's 30 cars that made the start tonight. 29 still on the track, going back to the 51 of Jason Mullis, and I can assure you that each one of these guys is fighting for this win here equally. We'll call it equal opportunity winning because it's Talladega. It's probably the dumbest thing I ever said in the broadcast, but no, definitely not that. You see all the drivers coming to pit road right here. Hunter Waters in the 7, going to lead them down. So the top 10 coming in was Justin Gann, the 30 car, able to score points there too. Patrick DeSaliner, Stephen Ayers Jr., Joseph McWhorter, Todd Cray, Kyle Bromer, just to name a few. Hunter Waters, Chuck Sweeting, those are your, and the 63 of Johnny Avila. They're going to score the stage points right there at the end of that one. And these guys are going to take advantage of it. You can only go about 35 laps on a tank of fuel, so they're not out, but they're low. So they're going to go ahead and top off right here on lap 27. Scream back out to the racetrack, and I'm sure things will change around. One thing that you do not need at these plate tracks like Talladega and Daytona, I'm not going to say you do not need them, but I've ran them the whole races on one set of tires, so they're basically... They're not necessary. They are not necessarily necessary, but if you're going to take a full tank of fuel, might as well take right sides one time, left sides the next time, if it makes you feel better. You still have a quick pit stop on pit road. And we got the 51 car being scored as the leader, but, oh, he did pit. He was one of the ones that short pitted a little bit, so he's showing he was the only one that did that 4 laps ago. So Jason Mullis working a little strategy here. He's going to restart as your race leader, it looks like. 7 car, Hunter Waters second, 63 of Johnny Avila third. 4th place is going to be the 73 car of Joseph McWhorter. And if I can find my mouse, we'll get back here to Chuck Sweeting, 75 car, rounding out the top 5. Been some great racing so far. 3 wide to finish that stage off right there. That's been the stage break's literally been the only slowdown of the race. No caution so far. Really clean racing. Not seeing anyone get super aggressive, jump around too much, and that's typically, not anything that you see here with the American SimRacing League Elite Series. These drivers they're calculated. They are. They're very calculated in the moves that they make. They understand the importance of having a car at the end to be able to fight for a win. If you don't have a car on that white flag lap, you're probably definitely not going to be fighting for a win. But if you do, if you took care of it for 93 laps, then you're going to have a piece to race with at the end. And these guys understand it, probably get it better than most people I've seen on iRacing. And I could say in sim racing, which has been well over 25 years now, 20 years, 24, 20, I don't know, 25, 26. I've gotten old enough now doing this that I deny that I'm aging anymore. I probably sound like I do, but I deny it. There's no doubt about that. And Jason Mullis, your leader, 51 car, 7 car. Hunter Waters second. On third to 63, Johnny Avila. And Avila, though, he's the happy one back there. He's smiling. He got the win last week, and that was huge for him. So the monkey is off his back at Talladega, a plate track, the unknown for a lot of these drivers. And the monkey's off that driver's back, so he's out there having a ball. And I'll tell you, a lot of other drivers, too. Jason Mullis won. He's having a ball, too. He pitted a few laps before the stage break there, so he's up here going to shake it up and mix it up with these guys a little bit. And that's what makes it fun. Bunnell now. Look at him in the 96 car. 21 of Todd Gray hanging in there. 90 car. Kyle Bromer. So I think we're 2x2. Lights are out on the pace car. That means one thing and one thing only. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing with the American SimRacing League's Elite Series. And let's see what happens here. 21 of Todd Gray kind of dipping down a little bit. You see the 90 moving around on the high side. Pace car, he just wants to get out of these drivers' way. Pace car dip down below that yellow line. They get to that Geico restart zone. The hammers are going to drop. And wait for it. Right here. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know where it's at now. Right there. There it is. The Geico on the bottom. There they go. Back to green flag racing at Talladega Super Speedway. The 51 car really needs that 63 to get there on that bumper, because if you look at the high side, those drivers have been doing it very well. Hunter Waters in the 7, the 63 of Johnny Avila, or actually the 73 out there of Joseph McWhorter. Avila on the inside line, he's going to give that 51 a push. He really doesn't care who's up there. He just wants to get up there himself. But Hunter Waters getting a lot of help on that high side from McWhorter. So honestly, when you got a scenario like that for the 7 car, the most important car is that 73 car in his rear view mirror. The same with the 51 is the 63 in the rear view. And right now, the 63 is the horse, because he's going to push the 51 to the front of the field, and he possibly might lead the lap, but I don't know. Looks like the 7 did. So Hunter Waters getting a lot of help from the 73 and the 21 of Todd Gray now, but now moving up to the back bumper of the 73. 30 of 94, not quite a third of the way through here at Talladega tonight. We've been clean and green, with the exception of one slowdown for the end of the stage. So if you have missed some of the racing action and you're just tuning in, you might want to pull up a chair and stay a while. This has been a good one. Going through the field a little bit. In fact, let's go through the whole field, starting with the that order is absolutely incorrect. The race leader, a little bit of pit strategy got him up front. We're going to go on board with them. Do the driver in car. Jason Mullis leading this thing in the 51 car. A little bit of strategy working out for a feller. He's going to get up here at Talladega. Lead some laps right here. Second race of the championship round. We'll go back here to, well, not second. He's actually first now. That's the 7-car Hunter Waters. That's just how you're going to see this move around a little bit. Outside line getting a good run. Go back one more. We'll get on board here with Joseph McWhorter, and every time we switch cameras, that driver goes to the front of the field. It's almost like we got not the curse of the camera, but the magical camera here. We've got to find a driver we haven't been on board with, and that's going to be this guy, the 63 car, Johnny Avila. He's the one racing happy right here. He locked himself in last week so he can have fun, make some noise, and that's what Johnny's doing. Get on board with the driver of the 21 car, Todd Cray. And Todd mixing it up here in the top 3 or 4 now. Todd's going to try to get up there and lead some laps. Todd knows, just like all those guys in that championship round in the championship group do. If you lock in a win, you lock in, man. So that's going to be ultra important for everybody here but the 63 of Johnny Avila. Get on board now with the 96 of Jesse Bunnell. Bunnell, another one of these guys in the championship hunt that would like to pad his points positioning up or even possibly get up there and mix for a win, as we're a third of the way in now. Find another driver we haven't been on board with. Look at that. Jerry Cochran in the 73 car. Haven't talked about him but maybe one time at the beginning of the race. And look at Jerry Cochran now. Cochran up inside the top 10, starting to make a little noise right here. So the 72 trying to get himself in position for later in the race to a win, and the guy's in. He'll go from the back to the front. That's just the way it works. And Jerry having a good run right now. Justin Gann, another one up here fighting. 30 car. On board with that driver, sitting in 7th. He's behind that 72 car. These are guys, along with the 21, 72, 30. They're guys that need to not just score points, but potentially get up there and get the win. Just get the win. Lock yourself in. That's a surefire way to do it. I don't know if I've been on board with the 90 yet, but that's Kyle Bromer. Driving a 90 car, and he's following the 21 car, Todd Cray. And we just had the inside line recycle. So that's going to open it up and maybe give Bromer a chance to move up another spot or two. We get on board now with this driver, the 62 car. That's Stephen Ayers Jr. driving a 62. And whoever stopped in and give us a like on the broadcast, we appreciate it very much. You give a like to the broadcast, you give a like to each and every one of these drivers out here. They come back and see the broadcast. They like to read the comments. They love to see the likes in it. And we appreciate it on the WFO Racing Network as well. As we get on board now with the 9-car Adam Matz. So Matt's got himself up there close to the top 10. Just kind of a little bit on the outside looking in a little bit. And the driver we missed was the 09. So we're going to get on board with him right now. That's William Kemp driving the 09 car. Kemp, another one having a good race. We've seen him lead a line up to the front of the field earlier in this thing. And this is a case where I'm just cruising through and trying to find people that I haven't found yet. So we'll go back now and get on board with the 11 of Tyler Seville. So Tyler back here in the 13th spot. See him racing around the 9 and the 27. We've seen the 27 pass him on the outside, so he'll pick up the spot from him in 12th. That's the 27 of Steve Yenish, who we're on board with now. And I'll tell you, if you don't think that it's nerve-wracking or if it's not real close, you can just watch these guys. They make it look easy, though, honestly. They're so smooth with the steering wheel. Not making any aggressive or crazy moves out here. And just making sure that they're there and they're ready for the end, positioning themselves. As we go on board now with the 19 car, Dwayne Hunt. And as you get back farther in these lines, you can hear these guys and how much they're lifting off the throttle. And they're doing that because they get such a good run and such a draft that they really pull up on the guy in front of them, so they got to get out of the gas so they don't drive through that guy. It's definitely some great racing so far, and you've seen how much right there Dwayne Hunt had to get out of the throttle. It's a 43 car, Richard Fletcher. Fletcher working around the bottom now. It's the same thing. These drivers just on and off the gas pedal when they're back here. Those front cars break that air, and the air doesn't slow down these cars in the back very much. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not half throttle. We're going to get on board now with the 24 car, Bentley Glacier. He's back here in 16th position. Still plenty of time to go. We're 38 laps of 94, so still plenty of racing to do at Talladega with the American SimRacing League Elite Series. And we're going to find Ray Polking in the 46 car now. I mean, he sounds like he's out of the gas most of the time, honestly. And you see all the cars in front of him just punching a hole through that air. That way there's a hole for the 46 to drive through, and he don't have that air hitting the front of his car as bad. Not bad enough to slow him down anyway, as we're going to go on board now with the driver of the 89 car. He started on the front row, but that's Jeff Yenish right here in the 89. Yenish is one of those drivers that would like to score some points here, some really good points, take advantage of Talladega. Not have it be bad for a guy. You don't want to go... The important things, you don't want to go down in points. You want to go up. So you really got to pay attention to positioning, especially at the end of the stage, which we already did that. So these drivers were already aware of that and took care of that. But the end of the race, I mean, that's for some of the chase guys and hopefully most of them. Talladega is going to be a good one, but for a couple of them, unfortunately, it usually ends up pretty badly. Hopefully that's not the case tonight as we go on board with the 52 of Jason Day. Jason running back here in the 17th position. And maybe we'll get on board with your favorite driver, whoever you're tuning in for. We'll go on board now with the 93 of Patrick DeSalinier, and I like this. DeSalinier is going to take him 3 wide up here. He might be trying to get something going out there on the high side. And this is the time, early in the race, all the way up to halfway. Practice where you can get a run on these drivers. If things worked out for the 93, you could potentially go back there from around 20th position up to about 5th. As we're going to find another driver to get on board with, and that'll be the 40 of Charlie Woods. And you see Woods racing all around that's a nice part about going on board with these different drivers, because the drivers we were on board with, you can see them now. 93 working to the high side of the 40. You got the 62 up there, 89 up there. So a lot of drivers around there. We're on board with the 40 of Charlie Woods. We're going to move back now to Jason Day's 52, but we've been on board with him. So let's find Chuck Sweeting. He was up front earlier, but he's back here around 22nd right now. It seems like since the caution, the 75's kind of faded back just a little bit. And he might be, like most of these guys back here, just kind of biding his time some. Plenty of time to get there. Look at that. We're going to find the 5 car. Jump on board the camera with the gentleman right here. Gary May in the 5 car. Oh, MMO, take it easy, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Definitely see you next week. The 5 car, Gary May working around the track here in 22nd. How about we get on board with the 3 car now? Paul Crumry driving a 3-car. Paul having a good race as well. If you got a car headed the right way and able to draft, halfway through this thing, then you're definitely, most certainly headed in the right direction. So Paul having a good run here in the 3-car so far. We're going to go on board now with the 12th car of Cody Williams. Cody was fast in practice earlier when I got in here. And I think the 12th car is one of the ones just taking his time back here. Not going to do anything crazy. And I think he may have a little help back here with him. You see Chuck Sweeting in front of him right here. Cody Williams right here. Jason Mullis in the 51 car has moved back here now since he started up there on the front row. Then you got Dakota Floyd here in the 57 and John Sanu in the 86 car. And this is the back of the field. And, man, these guys are checked up big time. You know why? Green flag pit stops. The car getting a little loose right there. That's crazy. So let's get off the let's go back to this camera. If that's pit stops, man, that would be early. I wouldn't think they would be great. Yeah, I'm not thinking that's the case right there, but that was the end of through the field. I don't know why. I guess the car had to come to pit road. I don't know. Some of these guys, though, got more laps on their tank. The 21 car Mullis has 51 car Mullis has 21 laps on his. So rest of these drivers only have about 18. So by my calculations, if they can go 35, then they have a few more laps of racing they can do before they're going to have to come down the pit road. Watching the front of the field now, 63 car. Your leader, 96 car on his bumper. Now the 21 car, Todd Cray, fighting on the outside of the track. Todd with a little help. I think he might have led that lap, actually. So now he's getting a lot of help. That help's coming in the way of the 62 car. Stephen Ayers Jr. helping the 21 right now. Outside line seems to be working together good, but now the bottom row. Johnny Avila. Actually, I think the driver that was down on the inside line helping might have moved to the high side. And now Avila, he moved down. 96 car Bonnell. He's got to be the one helping the 63 now. So I think they just swapped around a little bit. 62 is going to give the 21 a good push. We'll see who leads this lap. Might be the 21 again. It is. Todd Cray leading another one here. So the 21, I think that's what he'd like to, the push he would like to see at the end. Right there to the front. At the start-finish line. Because it just seals the deal for you. When you're one of the championship playoff drivers, man, it'll take a load right off your back. One of those drivers, though, that the load got taken off his back, and you can tell because he's out there having a blast. That's the 63 car, Johnny Avila. Oh, he moved up, and Todd Cray's going to move that line out to the top of the track. That's going to kind of hang the 63 out in the middle right now. We'll see if anybody wants to go down there and work with the 63 or help him, because we've seen that middle line get a good run earlier. And Avila's doing a pretty good job hanging on because Cray hasn't went anywhere. These guys have kind of got roadblocked the top 3 and 4 trying to break away now. They're staying in a line on the bottom, and I'll tell you, that's where the midline hurt these guys. Wow. I did not think it would have that kind of effect, but it absolutely did. Now the 63's got someone to help him, and he's going to fight back. Now these guys, Todd Cray and them, probably want to jump in that draft. You've already lost enough ground. Might be time to hook back up with them and live to fight later. So you see Steve Yenish working through the middle back there. This first group of cars is getting pretty racy. 3 wide right now. 62 and 21, and that 62 really working the back bumper of the 21 car. I know he's trying to get them back up there, man, but they're stacked up in the middle. They're stacked up on the bottom. And everybody behind those first 3 cars in each row, they're probably driving their guts out right now. Literally. See Todd Cray working the high side, 63, Johnny Avila in the center there. And at the very bottom of the track, the 96 of Jesse Bennell. As we come to the start-finish line this time. And that's going to be Avila leading that lap. So Johnny Avila. Where's the second group of cars? How far back does that go? We go back here with McWhorter. He's still in the first group. Gann in the first group. The Salinair and Kemp. Second group's led by the 24 car, Bentley Glacier. The difference between your first and second group, if you look at this second group, they're all in line, single file. Because they understand that being back here, that's going to be the fastest way around the track is for all these drivers to get single file. And the single file should help them, so I'm going to keep an eye on lap times between the leader of this group, which is Bentley Glacier, and the back of the other group, which is William Kemp. Right now, they're 0.3 of a second faster, so we're going to monitor this lap on as they come to the start-finish line. 24 car went a 163 to a 240, so that's 0.1 of a second that they picked up there. That's 0.3 in the last 2 laps. So this group is 5.4 seconds behind the lead group. They got a little bit of work to do. They're going to want to stay in line. And I think working together, though, it might prove to be the way to get back up there to the front group here. Johnny Avila breaking out to the lead again. Help from the... It's like help from the 11 car, Tyler Seville. 21 car, Todd Cray's going to move down to the center line, though. So Cray's going to move down now. He's going to fall in behind these guys. The 27 car, though, he's trying to make some noise on that high side, and he's got help at this point. 19 car, Dwayne Hunt. He says, what the heck, I'll give it a try up there. This first group doing a great job not getting into each other, honestly. But that second group, I seen them in the shop the last time by. That goes to Kemp, back to Glacier, and here they are. Revisit it. They're still a little over 5 seconds at 5.3, but I'll tell you, 1/10 or 2 at a time, they're nipping away at it. We got about 10 laps of fuel left probably on this run, if I'm guessing. Maybe for the race leaders, a lap less than that. I don't know. Sometimes leading and, you know, taking all the air on the nose of the car, you're on the mat all the time where the guys, you know, behind you, positions behind you, they're not on the mat like that. They're not using as much fuel. So the guys in the front will be using more because they're standing on the gas when the guys in pit positions beyond that, just they don't have to. They're off the gas a lot, so they might be half throttling, 3/4 throttling. They're not burning as much fuel as the guys in front of them, or the drivers up there in the front in particular. And all that makes a difference, and it's usually about 1 or 2 laps from what I could find. You see Todd Cray right there moving up to the high side. He's going to try to hook up with the 27 car. I just don't see enough going on up there, honestly. I think you need a couple of these cars to come off the bottom, get a few more committed. And then I think those higher lines would have a shot of doing something, or maybe even coming in. You see it as well as I do. You're watching this race, and you can really see that second group back there. And it seems like lap after lap, this group they're getting larger and larger, you know. Maybe larger in the rear view mirror. I don't know. I keep revisiting the time from here to there, and oh yeah, it's definitely decreasing. That second group is on the move. They've stayed disciplined, though. The last several laps we've watched them. They're single file. 24.75. I'll just go through the list back here. 24 car in the 15th position, 75 car, 46 car, 43 car, 9 car, 89 car, 12 car, 5 car, 57 car, 40 car, 86 car, 3 car. Man, and a driver who took it to the garage, you hate to see it, the 72 of Jerry Cochran. One of those drivers fighting to stay in this thing. Back up front, the battle still rages on. 96 and 7. Jesse Bennell leading at 63, though. Johnny Avila, he's still there. He's got the 11 of Tyler Seville, 19 of Dwayne Hunt. 90 car on the inside line. That's Kyle Bromer. Todd Cray in the 21 car out there on the high side. 55 laps in, 29 laps into the run. We're going to think about fuel here in the next 6 laps. Are they going to come in at 35? Do they need to come in at 34? Just to be a little safer, maybe a lap earlier. I know the laps are kicking off here at Talladega Super Speedway tonight. We're past the midway point. We've been through our first stage, but I'll tell you what we haven't seen. We haven't seen a caution, and we might not. I mean, that's the thing. You get this many laps in, these guys get settled out. We got 2 distinct groups of drivers on the racetrack right now. You're watching the first group battle it out. And behind them in 15th position, that starts the second group. They're now 3.8 seconds behind the first group. So when I told you that they are getting a little bit larger in the rearview mirror of the 27 car Steve Yenish, I meant it, because they are. Each shot that we take with the camera like that back there on the 27, you can see that second group just inching closer and closer. Will they catch them in the next 5 laps? That I don't know. If these guys keep shuffling around 2 and 3 wide right here, and they got cars falling off the path a little bit, I'm looking back at the 93 car, and it looks like he's lost a little bit, and there's a little room there. But the Salinera has got a couple of cars right behind him. The 62 car and the 27 car. But now you see the inside line, for the most part, getting single file because they see those guys running them down. Some of that, though, we're getting close to pit stops. So some of the drivers that were riding out there in that second line, they're going to start positioning themselves right now to make their green flag pit stops as they're getting inching closer and closer. Your race leader at the moment is the 11 car Tyler Seville. He's got the 63 of Johnny Avila planted on the bumper. Third place is going to be Jesse Bennell in the 96, and back and forth will be Johnny Avila. And rounding out your top 5 is their single file now. That's going to be the 90 car of Kyle Bromer. Lap 32, so I know that these guys pulled down to the bottom, most likely, to get preparation for pit stops. But I'll tell you that outside, or that second pack, they gained a lot of time on these guys in the meantime. Starting with Bentley Glacier in 15th, they're 2.8 seconds back now. So this second group has really been, they've really been pounding on them a little bit, knocking the time off. But now that the first group's got single file, that's going to be just kind of minimize it, make it a little bit harder for that second group to do. The first group may actually be a little bit bigger, which makes it even harder for the second group to run them down. But I think right now a lot of drivers just get in position to make their first round of green flag pit stops. You're running 200 miles an hour around Talladega. You got to slow it down to about 60, 65 miles an hour on pit road. Yes, that can be interesting. It's where mistakes are made. It's where super speedway races are lost all the time. You don't want to be one of the playoff contenders, one of the championship playoff contenders, and make a mistake right here because it can be super, super costly. Get a drink of my water once again. Know why my foot started itching so bad all of a sudden, but I don't like that. So 34 laps into this run on tires, 60 laps into the race. We've seen a stage rate, or got to get that straightened out. A little bit of tongue-tied here. We've seen the stage break at lap 25, and we've been 34 laps since then. So I'd say some gas tanks are, I don't know, turning into fumes, vaporizing a little bit. That fuel's disappearing, and it's disappearing quickly, especially for those guys that have been out there leading laps. They got it on the mat. Some of those guys in, second, third on back there, they ain't been pushing that thing as hard. They haven't been running the car as hard, so they're not burning as much fuel around Talladega here. Maybe they can go an extra lap from the guys that have been in the front, but that inside line's broke up again, and the second line's bringing it. Now get back there. It's changed over a little bit, too. Oh, heck, they're basically almost there now. Bentley Glacier right here. Oh, yeah, they caught them. Second group has caught the first group right before we go to pit stops, I'm sure. And here comes pit stops coming up. So Bentley Glacier leading that second group around, and there's no longer a gap between the first and second group. Where's Glacier in 24? Is he going to get a run? Where's he going to take it? Maybe the high side right here? Nope. He's just going to fall right in line, and we no longer have two groups. We got one. Just like that. Did we got two? We got a small group back here. These are the drivers that pitted. Justin Gann, Patrick DeSaliner, Todd Cray. They've been to pit road. Stephen Ayers Jr. So those four cars have all been to pit road. Race leaders 36 laps in hand. If not, Steve Yenish now in the 27 car. He started P1, and he is P1. Good place to be 62 laps in. Wait a minute. Is it a good place to be 62 laps in? I think I'd rather be there 94 laps in. So it's not a bad thing to be there 63 laps in, but you definitely want to be there 94 in. And I know that 27 car is one that would love nothing more, actually, than to knock out the win here tonight. So we're going to find out. You stick with me. About 30 laps, we'll figure it all out. Right here at Talladega Super Speedway with the American SimRacing League's Elite Series. And in case you missed it, on Vern Bradley in the broadcast booth every week here. I enjoy it. Love the racing, the competition. It's always a lot of fun. Man, I thought they could go 35 or 36 laps. They're making me look bad. What is going on here? Next, I'm going to check my messages again just to see. We'll go back here, and approximately 35 laps, so I guess 37 or 8. Well, that's close to 35. Only about 3 off. Yenish leading it. Tyler Seville second. Outside line getting formed. 73 car McWhorter. Where's he at? He's the one out there. So McWhorter trying to make something happen, and I thought they would be getting ready for green flag pit stops, and these guys are just stacking up. There goes the 11 car to pit road, a whole bunch of them actually. Your top 5 or 6 stay out. 63 and 11, a bunch of other of these guys are on pit road now, and I don't know what just happened. But my camera messed up as I get back to the front of the field. 73 car. He's got the lead, but I think the 52's got the help. That's Jason Day. He's going to start leading it. He's going to take the 24 and 75 with him. Now the 52 is going to duck back to the bottom. We're 39 laps into the run, so some of these guys got to be getting pretty short on the old gas tank here. So how much longer are they going to stay out before they say, hey, you know what? It's time to come to pit road. And you got to be clean right here. You can't make mistakes. Mistakes will kill you. There they go. All your leaders now. The rest of them on pit road. They're going to get woed down for the most part. I didn't see any problems. There's a wider view of it. See the 73 going to pit road. Several other cars. 27's in that group. 89. Oofta. We see a lot of them. 5 car. So that was your lead group, and that pretty much was part of the lead group originally. They're all coming to pit road right here on 65, and I don't know, 65, 75, 10 to 85. They can make it all the way on fuel. So this will be the final pit stop if this thing stays green. It should be the final pit stop because I believe they can go on fuel from here. We're just going to have to see. Steve Yenish is out there a little bit. He's going to want that 24 and the 89 in them to catch up to him. But look at them guys that pitted earlier. They're drafting together, and they're driving by these guys on the high side. But will the 24? No. 27 of them's not going to be able to break up that run. They're going to hope that they can kind of hook up with these guys after this thing's over with, after the pit stops are over. You want to get in line, get lined up, pick up on the draft, and see what goes on. Your leader is the same leader that, was there when it all started. The 11 car, Tyler Seville, the 7. Hunter Waters, 63. Johnny Avila. 90, Kyle Bromer. 9 of Adam Matz. 09, William Kemp. And the 96 of Jesse Bonnell. That's your top, 3, 6, 7 cars. Second group, though, you'll see Steve Yenish in the 27 car. He's got the 24 car, Bentley Glacier, the 89 car of Jeff Yenish. Jason Day in the 52 car, Joseph McWhorter in the 73, and the 19 of Dwayne Hunt. So that group's all together there, and then it fades back a little bit to the 75 of Chuck Sweeting and the 43 of Richard Fletcher, who's on the 75's bumper. Then a little bit more break, you'll get to the 57, Dakota Floyd. He's got the 86 of John Sanu on his bumper, and these two would just like to catch up. But where's Todd Cray? He's back here in another group with the 30 of Justin Gann, the 93 of Patrick DeSaliner, the 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr., and the 46 of Ray Polking. So just kind of looking at how these groups fell out here. Thought Woods was by himself, Charlie Woods in the 40 for a second, but he's got a Crumry right there in the 3 car. And there's actually the 86 of John Sanu. He wasn't where I thought he was. He's back here with the 5, the gentleman Gary May. And the last car on the track by itself is going to be the 51 of Jason Mullis. 2 cars retired from this event, it looks like. The 72 of Jerry Cochran, the 74 of Dylan Bryant. So back to the front, because I know there's some Tyler Seville and some Hunter Water, Johnny Avila fans. That's your top 3. Still plenty of racing to go, and it is Talladega Super Speedway. What's that mean? Well, caution. It could change any race, but it can certainly change this one. You don't even need a caution. I mean, these guys, you got 5 or 6 guys lined up, and the drivers in front of them, they start battling side by side as you see the 73 leading the second lineup there. It gives those guys behind a shot at catching up before this thing's over with. But I would say on lap 70 of 94 that you want to be in this group if it stays green. There's a good possibility that your race winner will come out of this group of drivers if it stays green, because we're getting to the point where there's only 25 laps to go now of the 94 original laps at Talladega Super Speedway with the American SimRacing League Elite Series. And there's a change for the lead, Joseph McWhorter. He brought the outside line up, and now he's your race leader, just like that. Dwayne Hunt in the 19 car working the high side now. Can he make himself a benefactor and go up to the front of this field? We're going to find out. I don't know if he can. Maybe you do. You guys and gals are tuned in and watching it just as well as I am. See the back of the 73, no damage there. see a lot on a lot of dirt on the cars right now. I mean, that's what they get racing around out here. And if you're not at the front of the field, you're in what they say is dirty air. So it's turbulent. And you can see the dirt piling up on some of these rides. They're not as shiny as they were when we started. Get on the back of the Hunter's fried pickle machine, the 7-car Hunter Waters. You see how close the race it is. Looks like for the most part, though, these Xfinity cars are very stable around Talladega here, so not real shaky or twitchy. Don't get moved around a lot when they're in the dirty air. You see the 7's got some help behind them. It's like the 63 at Johnny Avila. Another Hunter's Fried Pickles paint scheme. We're just taking a look at some different camera views here at Talladega. Give you a couple of minutes with some sights and sounds. Talladega Super Speedway. Look at the 96 car. Good shot right there. See the front of that Ford Mustang. I think that's the 90 of Kyle Bromer. It is back there in the Mustang. 90 going to head to the bottom, kind of maybe get out of the draft a little bit. That's going to make things change around some. Avila leading it. He's now got, I believe it might, nope, there's the 89 car. It's a 96 car Benell coming up behind him. Now you're on with the 40 car. Well, we'll move. There's the 57. He's got no one behind him, but the 62 does. On board with Stephen Ayers Jr. He's got the 46 car Ray Polking. That's a good shot. We're on board now with the 7-car Hunter Waters. Looking back at the 63. His teammate, Johnny Avila, right there. Look how low these cars are to the racetrack. If you want to see low, that's low. There's a roll bar camera and, of course, the gyro cam. Get on the left front suspension with some of these cars here. We'll find your leader. Nope, nobody out there. So we'll go to the blimp view now. Take a look at the field. That way you can see the group of cars up here with 20 laps to go. They're being pulled around right now by the 11 of Tyler Seville, the 7 of Hunter Waters, the 63 of Johnny Avila, the 96 of Jesse Bennell, and the 19 of Dwayne Hunt. If you're just tuning in, oh, wow, you've missed some great racing so far, but it's not over yet. You see the cars, they might be single file now, but it's Talladega and they won't stay that way. That's one thing I can promise you. No caution flags this entire race so far. We only seen the stage break at lap 25. Since then, they've been, well, 50, about 55 laps of green flag racing or so, 56. More than that if you count the first 25. So they just no caution flags. The cars have gotten, I'm not even going to say they got separated out because I'm pretty sure these top 14 are all one pack. As you take a look at it, and it may go back farther, I'm going to find out for sure. Yeah, it's the top 14 that are in one pack. The other cars have faded back some. So 19 to go. I do not believe that they're going to have to stop again for fuel or anything, which means they can race it out for 18 laps here. It looks like the outside line's trying to get something going on now. Going to get back down a little bit closer to the cameras and check it out. You see Bunnell in the 96 car working the high side. He's got the 73 behind him, Joseph McWhorter. They're going to try to make a little noise, and let's see if they can go somewhere. Shake it up a little bit up front. Start putting a show on for the crowd. That's right. That's you guys and gals and myself up here in the broadcast booth tonight. 11 car Tyler Seville, now the 96 of Bunnell. Working the high side with help from that 73, and we've seen that 73 push more than one of those drivers up there. And the 96 is going to go to the bottom of the track. That's now going to give the 73 a chance to race for the top spot. If he can get the help from the 89 that he gave to the 96, the 73 might find himself back at the front of the field. But, man, it seems like that driver behind you has really got to lock onto the bumper and just give you a shove to get up there. The 73 is able to get enough to stay side by side now with the race leader, the 96 car, but it's just not enough to get up in front of the field here. 11 car, though, Tyler Seville he's giving a good shove right there to that 96. Bunnell's going to lead the lap. It's going to put 73 of Joseph McWhorter second that lap. So outside line's got to stack up if they're going to go somewhere. And right now, the stack up just not quite as good as it was before. The inside line, no different story. 96, 11 car, 7 car, 63, working good together. And that does make a difference. You got to have help. It's Talladega. You can't do it by yourself. So one of those drivers up there in the top 10, 7th right now, the 63 of Johnny Avila, he's locked in. The 96, though, the 11, I believe, the 73, the 89, 7 car. They're trying to lock themselves in, honestly. So you got to have a good run here at Talladega to do that. And I said there were some of those playoff contenders that might have a bad night. One of them is actually a couple of them now. Todd Cray in the 21 car. He's retired from the event. 72 car Jerry Cochran, another one on pit road. Jason Day's parked it too. So we got a few cars that are out of this thing here. But we got plenty of cars left in it. Ooh. I seen the 9 car wiggle around a little bit. I thought we might see a caution with 15 to go. Not quite, though. Didn't happen. But it don't mean that it won't later. Are we holding out hope for it? Never. We wouldn't do that. We're not that kind of people. So Jesse Bunnell, he don't want to see a caution. These guys up here want to race it out in this first group. It goes back here. 14 cars to the 12th car, Cody Williams. I believe the 51 might be a lap down. He's actually 1 lap down now, so he's not in. He's drafting with them, but he's not racing for position with any of those cars in front of him. The last car, though, for position in this first group is in 12th place, I believe. No, 14th position, and that's going to be Cody Williams in the 12th car. We find William Camp in the 09. He's got help from the 57, maybe? Yes, and that is 14 seconds behind your race leader. So you go back even farther, it's 25 seconds back, and that's this group of cars. 30 car again, 93 car, 62, and the 46. And then you go back farther, and these guys are, they're not far from going a lap down, actually. 86 car Johnson New and the 5 of Gary May. So I'm telling you, there's some guys back there that would like to see a caution flag. And there's some 14 drivers up here that they don't really want to see one, and they don't care to. So 13 to go. They're starting to get racy, though, the first group, so you never know what's going to happen. 96 is leading at 73, still fighting on the high side, trying to make something happen. He's going to lead that lap, but not quite clear of the 96 car where he can grab that race lead away. We don't need to lose viewers now because this thing, the laps are winding down. I'm waiting for a third and a fourth lane to start. That's right, 3 and 4 wide. Oh, look at that. 89 giving the 73 a push now. And that's going to put him to the front of the field, but he's going to stay on the high side. So a little different thinking there for the driver of the 73 car. He's going to keep it on the high side. The inside line's going to fight back now. Man, I'll tell you what, if you clear that high side, if you're the 11 car, do you jump out there? That's the question. You get clear, you know, it's an opportunity to get out there, and if you get somebody like McWhorter in the 73 car on that bumper, man, and that's almost a guaranteed shot to the lead. And that might be a position that you want to put yourself in later in the race. And when I say later, I mean in about 10 laps. You're one of these top 4 cars, 6 cars, 8 cars, man, if you're in this first group, if you're at the back of that group right now, you want to start 3 or 4 lines. Let's move up now. This is where you're starting to stage and get yourself really into that position. Because a couple of good moves on those last 2 laps, and the next thing you know, you're battling out for a win. And we're liable to be 3 or 4 or 5 wide at the line. I mean, we've seen some crazy stuff on these restrictor plate tracks, so Talladega is no different as the battle's on. 73 car Joseph McWhorter, 96 Jesse Bunnell. We don't know who's going to lead lap in and lap out. It's been that way for some time, and there's the wreck. It broke out. 19 car, 63 car, and we're under caution with 10 to go. Man, what a big break for John Sanu and some of those guys that were back there that lost the draft. 86 car Dakota Floyd. I got to find out what happened. So I got to find one of the cars that were in it. We're going to hit an instant replay right here. A little bit of 3 wide. It broke out, but that ain't what did it. It looked like a push on the bottom. Might have turned a 19 car. Right in front of this field, going to affect the 24, 43, 63. Those 3 cars affected the most, as well as the 19. And these guys are going to try to get it going in the right direction, man. And the saving grace, though, for that 63 car is he got the win last week. So some of these other guys don't want to get caught up in it. Oh, the 24 car being one of them. I mean, he had a pretty good cushion coming into here. Bentley Glacier did, but man, you just don't want to. You just don't want to get caught up in it. That's the thing. I'm trying to figure out where he's at. He's in 11th, but the car did suffer some damage. Looking on the front of that 24 car. So he did suffer some damage. He's going to want to take it to the attention of the pit crew right here. See how much Bear Bond duct tape they can put on the front of it. And it's weird at Talladega. It honestly is, because other than the car missing his front end back there, like the damage the 24 has, it looks pretty bad. And we're going to take a. Let's go, not chase. There we go. Oh, heck, we've seen a car like that early in the race, and he was running in the draft still. So it could – that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's definitely not the end of the race for the 24. And really, for anyone that was in it, they all continued on right here. But you want to get as much of that fixed on pit road as you can while you're under caution here. Whether it takes 1 or 2 laps under caution to come down and get repairs done. And I see the 63 and a couple of others there going to head to pit road. The 24, though, is going to stay out on the track. And I guess if the car's not overheating, you just keep it out there. But if that car's overheating, you certainly want to get in there and get as much repair done as you can, as we're 8 laps from the end. Race leader still out on the track. That's the 96 car of Bennell, 73 car of Joseph McWhorter second, the 11 of Tyler Seville third. 89 car, Jeff Yenish in fourth, and Hunter Waters 7 car. Rounding out the top 5 right here as we are under caution flag. Our first official caution of the race. It's going good. Macaulay, how you doing, buddy? So our first official caution of the race, besides our lap 25 stage break. So this thing is, it is grinded ever so close to an ending. And I'm telling you, I didn't think there was going to be a caution. I thought that first 14 cars there were just going to fight it out for the win. And, man, wouldn't you know, 10 laps to go, 9 laps to go, all hell broke loose. And we find ourselves under caution right here. So we're going to pace around Talladega Super Speedway for a couple laps, and we've seen some of the guys decide to go to pit road and some of the guys didn't. And I'd say if you're outside of the top 10, want to gamble, maybe see how 4 new feel goods feel on the bottom of the car, and maybe that makes a difference. I don't know right here. I know if I'm in the top 5, 6, or 7, even maybe 8, I'm probably not coming to pit road. That's just how it is. But for some of those guys, some of those drivers, you got nothing to lose. Go do it. And that's what we've seen happen for a few of those drivers, though. I mean, it really wasn't an option. They had to go to pit road. As you see, we're going 2 by 2 now. The lights are out on the pace car. That means we're about 2.5 miles away from going back to green flag racing here at Talladega with the American Sim Racing League Elite Series. That's right, the Elites. Cream of the crop right here. And these drivers have put on one heck of a show at Talladega. It's hard to tell that 12 of them were racing to stay in a championship battle or hunt, the playoff picture. One of those drivers, though, man, a couple of those drivers. Talking about the 21 of Todd Cray, 72 Jerry Cochran retiring from the race, and that's certainly not going to help the cause there. Not sure what happened to those drivers. Maybe something happened during the green flag pit stop that they thought put them out of competition. But I'll tell you, there was drivers that thought they might have been out of it for the race. Drivers like drivers like 86 car John Sanu, one of them. Back there ways, the 5 car. The gentleman Gary May, he was back there quite a bit. Several of these drivers weren't off the pace. They just weren't in that lead pack. And now they find, the field's bunched up again. Basically, it's the reset button. We got a caution, kind of reset them here. So you see the guys pacing around under caution flag. You see the 57 of Dakota Floyd back there. That caution really benefited the driver of the 57 car. And for several of them, it was probably a blessing in disguise, per se. But for 3 or 4 of those guys, it wasn't. It was the beginning of a bad 7 laps. Pace car's in, waiting to get in that Geico restart zone. We're going to see if we can settle it in 7, or if we're going to need a green-white checker or 2, maybe 3. Who knows? So we're getting up to that Geico restart zone now. And the 96 fires, and we're back to green flag racing. Will it be for the final time? Your guess is as good as mine, but we're going to stay tuned in no matter what happens and take you to the end of this thing. I can tell you now with 6 to go, though, after they went back to green flag, I don't know, you got teammates, but other than that, there's probably no friends out there. And when you got 1 to go, I don't know if team orders even matter no more. So the 96 car trying to make his car as wide as can be at the front of the field. And the 11 car on his bumper, 73 car trying to get the outside line going now. Remember, these cars are probably just now getting wound back up since they went back to green flag racing. This is where the side draft might not have happened, but darn it, you're going to side draft now. That's just the way it works here. Take a little wider view of the field because you don't know where it's going to break out. It could be back there where it's 3 wide, or it might be right on the front. You give somebody a push in the corner the wrong way, and you'll send them the wrong way. And we could see several cars wadded up before this thing's over, which could potentially affect other drivers' chances at a championship here. That's why it's Talladega. That's why it's exciting, and that sure in the hell is what makes it fun when you're broadcasting or watching it. Doesn't make it as much fun when you're the driver, but when you're broadcasting it. Oh, yeah, Macaulay, I see the middle lane, too. I seen somebody do it not too long ago. We'll see if someone does it here in this race tonight, but man, it's going to get good. 73 and McWhorter muscling his way to the front. Getting help from the 89 car. Good drafting help behind you there now. 89 and 27. That was the front row at the start. Jeff Yenish and Steve Yenish. That 73 car knows where he wants to be as this race winds down. As he's going to get powered to the lead down the back straightaway. Another line is trying to happen back there. See the 5 car, Gary May, even poking his nose up there in the picture a little bit. Oh, yeah, business is picking up. It's going to be 3 to go when we get to the line this time. And that 73 might lead this lap. We're going to wait and see. 96 fights back on the bottom. Is it going to be enough? At the line, it is not. 73. Joseph McWhorter is going to lead it. That don't mean it's over by no means. McWhorter's got to lead it 3 more. Third line, though, starting to get a run. Justin Gann in the 30 car. He's trying to make some noise. He's got a little bit of help stacking up on the high side. Gann was one of them way back from that lead group. Definitely on the outside looking in. Caution flag. Come out and change everything. And now look at Gann, well inside the top 10. He started a lane all of his own. And they are really starting to claw their way up as the 73, though, getting help from the 89. Coming back to the start-finish line again, the 73 is going to lead it. But where's he going to go? He's going to have to pick a line right here. He's going to stay with the middle lane, but look at the 30 car. The 30 car's got a lot of help from the 90 of Kyle Bromer, and he's been up in the top 5 most of the race. Justin Gann, all of a sudden, outside looking in and now leading the race here at Talladega. Less than 2 to go, but we got 3 wide cars moving around. Are we going to see a green-white checker before we get there? Gann, there's trouble. 30 cars sideways. Oh, there's cars wadded up and flipping everywhere. Wow. We are going to see a green-white checker for sure now. At least one of them. And I'm going to try to find the 30 car because that was bad. That really was. And there's the 30 right there. Don't know what happened, so we're going to have to replay it a little bit and see. Looked like just somebody got bumped behind him and it just hooked him. And wow, 09, 30, I don't know, 5 car, 86 car, 93 car. You just got a whole mess of cars stacked up out here. Let's see how many of them got caught in, and I don't know if it affected the 24. I don't think it did. We'll go there. 63 car once again. 62 car. Man, a couple of cars missing their whole front ends. 86 car turned around. It's definitely a bad situation for some of these drivers. Adam Matz right there in the 9 car. Let's see it from his point of view. Yeah, the 9 car had body panels, and there's just, man, I mean, there's no way to go. I want to find a 09, get on board with that guy. That was just insane. So let's go to a different view and 09 car went for a ride, so let's watch it from his point of view. Ouch. Heavy contact with the outside wall, and they're just flipping and going everywhere. There's a 30 car again wrecking in front of him, 86 car. And at this point, guys and gals, there's a 51. You're just along for the ride, honestly. That's the way it works, and we're under caution as we're going to get ready for a green-white checker. Our first of 3, actually. So what do they say? Cautions breed cautions? That's not really the case that time. They got restarted for sure. They were getting a few laps in. You're just, those laps wind down. You know, you go from triple or double digits to single digits, and them single digits get smaller, and you just start, I don't know, you start pushing harder. You start making moves that you probably wouldn't have made earlier in the race, and contact happens, and sheet metal gets bent. Maybe a few attitudes blow up, but man, I don't know. I'm going to stay out of it. I'm going to stay up here in the booth where it's safe. It's safe right up here in the WFO broadcasting booth. You're watching the American Sim Racing League Elite Series live at Talladega Super Speedway for the Talladega 350, or 250, not 350. Where did I get that from? It's not an engine, it's a race. No, it's the Talladega 250. You can look at the website with the link I put in the description on the stream. That's right. If you want to check out anything about the American Sim Racing League, it's all right there on the website. And we're live come 8:20 p.m. Eastern every Sunday night. That's right. We're live right here on the WFO Racing Network on YouTube, putting on a broadcast. So you guys and gals can tune in, have a good time. And it usually is. Sometimes we'll get guys in there chatting it up, or guys and gals chatting it up. And we had the chat going a little bit. It's kind of died out some. I think McCullough got tired of typing. After he seen the middle lane opening up, he wasn't lying, but it was really the top line that opened up Michael McCullough, as we all seen. But don't go nowhere, because we won't be pacing long before we're back to green flag racing and the green-white checker, and, you know, business will pick up again. I can't guarantee that we won't see another green-white checker, or perhaps even another green-white checker. But if we do see those green-white checkers, I can promise you we won't see another green-white checker. That's just the thing. So, I'll tell you guys and gals what. We're actually coming up to something else that was said here at Talladega. They're at a green-white checker. Lights are out on the pace car. They're 2x2, but they only got 2 minutes to settle it, guys and gals. The race timer that was like 100 minutes is about ready to run up. So I would say we don't get another green-white checker. Would be my guess, but yes, race timer 100 minutes. And it's been ticking since the start of this thing. And I'm pretty sure that's what I'm looking at when I see lap 96 and 98. Lights are out on the pace car. Oh, no. I'm at 2:35 now. I don't think the race timer is going to... I was looking at the wrong thing. I think I am. I'm not sure. There's no way it's been 100 minutes since we started this. 60 minutes would have been about 9:20. It might be close to that. We'll find out, then get it finished up here. So we're 2x2, looking for a restart right here on this green-white checker. 3 laps to go. Your race leader, 73 car. That iRacing pace car is going to find pit road here. He's looking for it. He's going to take that Ford Fusion to pit road. We're going to get ready to do some green flag racing in the Geico restart zone. 73, 93, 89, 11. 27 car, 7 car. Here we go in a restart zone and back to green flag racing. Will it be for the final time? I don't know. You tell me. I had a timer counting down, and there it goes again. So maybe the timer stopped when we were under caution right there. Maybe it's got to finish under green. I'm not sure. 73-year leader. He's got a little help outside line trying to get going. They're wrecking in the back. 93 car hard into the outside wall. I'm going to stay with the lead group, though, not even the second group. We're going to watch this thing unfold. 2 to go now. If they can get back to the line with no caution flag, then it'll end it at Talladega tonight. Race number 2 in the chase. You got 4 cars up here battling it out. 73, 96, 89, and 11. Who's it going to be as they come to the start-finish line? They're going to run out the final lap as the white flag is out. So there's going to be one more time around. Man, that 89 car, big help to the 73. Going to push him to the front, but the outside line, look at that, 96 car, 11 car. They're trying. Now some more cars from the inside line might have some effect here. And these drivers are getting awful close to each other, so the racing's getting tight. Couple of these cars make contact and wad it up. You never know who's going to be the winner of this thing. Right now, that 89 car's pushing with everything he's got. Little contact to the high side, but the 96 is getting a run. 73 car Joseph McWhorter has help. Can he hang on? No, he gets dumped a little bit. There's contact, but the 73 does hang on, and the rest of the field wrecks at the line. But how about that? Jesse Bunnell second, the 57 of Dakota Floyd. I don't know how he did it, but let's back it up. I want you to watch the 57 car. Start-finish line, the wreck happens. He gets turned and pushes him to third, just like that. So that's your top 3. 73 of Joseph McWhorter, your race winner. And that's going to lock that driver in to the next round. So Joseph McWhorter taking it to victory lane, but great finish for the 96 of Jesse Bunnell. And Jeff Yenish right there until the end. Got caught up in that one. But the 73 is going to win it. And I think we're going to see him move on to the next round. We're that completes race number 2 in the chase here. So that completes Talladega, and I'm going to get down here where I can see it. We'll head to Texas next, and then we're going gambling in Vegas, Phoenix, Martinsville, and Homestead, Miami, which will certainly wrap up the season. But Talladega's in the books. Your race winner's the 73 of Joseph McWhorter. We're going to take a look at that car and get a good shot right there of him on close to the start-finish line, and then I'm going to go down there and find that driver. Get these post-race interviews going right here for you. Well, I say that lightly. There he is. Joseph McWhorter, Vern Bradley in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. I freaking do.
Man, I'll tell you, I think I hear a guy with a huge weight lifted off his shoulders.
I think that's an understatement, brother. Let's go. Yes.
Man, it just all unfolded right there on that final lap, and you got to tell it. Take us to that checkered flag from the driver's seat, Joseph.
Well, on that caution that we had beforehand, Steve and Jeff messaged me. They said that they wanted to work with me, and then I said, yeah. I copied 10-4 over the radio, and I mean, you saw me dedicated to that high side for the first time all night, and I was stuck with Jeff and Steve, and I mean, they're the real reason I won this race tonight, other than, you know, just being smart all night, having to come from the back all the way to the front. But man, that last restart, um, Jeff sent a message. He's like, "You want me to bump you coming into the start finish line?" And so when I was ready for it, I keyed up the mic without saying anything. And as you seen, he sped up. And as soon as I seen him sped up in a mirror, I went to kind of like some old restarts that you used to watch back in the day.
Right?
Got that launch that we needed, and then I just had to side draft like crazy to keep that 96 and that 11 at bay. And man, it paid off. Damn, man, we had to come from the back.
Man.
I'm very tired. My heart rate was through the roof on that one, but yes.
That's what makes this job I do so great. It's just a natural reaction of you guys going out there and I mean take the viewers through what goes through your mind, how much adrenaline there is when you're coming
Uh,
to let that last lap and you're leading at Talladega.
there there's so much adrenaline. I mean, it's a lot, and you're trying to listen to because I got a live spotter, Jonathan Smith, who he made all the pit calls today. He spotted me through all the mess of getting from the back to the front and giving me details and everything. I mean, you try to blank your mind as much as possible and listen to everything your spotter tells you to do, and you just execute on it and side draft and keep as much momentum as humanly possible. You do not want to get stalled out at any point. And the viewers at home, it's only something you can really understand once you're behind the wheel. And you're just, I mean, my heart rate's through the roof. I'm shaking, I'm sweating my butt off. It's hot down here. I'm ready for a Dr. Pepper. You just kind of have to just do exactly what you're told and work with who you got. And thankfully we had the Inishes to work with, and I can't appreciate that. It sucks that me and Jeff got together there at the end. Um, I just got a little bit on those bumps there, and I went to kind of side draft him and kind of cover him, and I clipped him in the right front fender. But oh man, I need to breathe.
Yeah, take that breath, but I don't want you to sell yourself short. I mean, anybody that looked like got in front of the 73 car, you were able to push them to the lead, Joseph, and you were up there fighting for it all night. So being in the right place there at the end probably meant everything, buddy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I always tell everybody that because I study a lot of footage and I've watched so many races at Daytona and Talladega. I watch them all the time, like going back and watching like old clips of Dale Jr. and Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, like people that are really good on plate tracks, and John is like my version of having TJ Majors, Dale Jr. spotter, and just having that we just mesh really well to where you can work really well together, and that's how he and I have won so many of these races together. And it showed right here on why we meld so good together is because we can work the draft and we can be aggressive, and I can make moves that most of these guys can't because I have somebody that I trust more than anything on the spotter stand.
Yeah, and I mean, you could certainly see it with the way you were driving out there, and just excellent execution all night long, and all the way to victory lane, Joseph. And I'm telling you, the weight has to be off your shoulders, buddy, because I'm pretty sure that locked you into the next round.
Well, yeah, it does. And I was telling Johnny, I was like, look, I've got a plan to where I can actually make the Texas race if we don't lock myself in tonight. And I told him I was like, I'd have to finish the race at 11 p.m. Saturday night, unpack the car, go through tech and everything like that, and then take an hour nap and then drive straight through the whole 16 hours to get back back to Missouri from Florida. Get here like 2 hours before the race, take a nap and race the race in order to, if I had to. But now I can actually go out and enjoy next weekend and not have to worry about it too much. And now I can miss and it not affect anything. I mean, it kind of sucks having to give up some playoff points that are potential out there for next week. But you know what? We're just going to go into the next round, and all three tracks are ones I really like. And I told you, man, I'm going to put on a show this week. I told you last week
You
I was
did.
going to
You
do it.
did. You told us all that, and
I
you went
told
out
you.
and did it.
You're damn right, man. It's just, man, this Red Camel Racing, Driven Motorsports Chevy Camaro is just bad fast every other week. I can't do it without my spotter slash crew chief and all the people that watch me and cheer me on every week. Man,
Man, I'll tell you, I'm thinking that might be like your third win of the season.
it is the third win. Me and
Yes,
Johnny just neck
sir.
and I had to answer him. He beat me. He beat my butt all week last week. So I had to go out here and do this. I had to answer him.
Yeah, he was able to lock himself in last week to have a little more fun tonight. And I think that's what he said he was going to do, and it looked like he was having fun, but you went out and had a job to do, brother, and you did it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said at Atlanta, you figured you'd see the 63 and the 73 a lot this season, and I think that still rings true into the playoffs. What do you think?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean I think that anyone that watched these things could have seen that and could have predicted that. I think it was an easy prediction. But this has to give you momentum. And it's giving you
Oh, for
momentum
sure.
at the right time in the chase.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, next weekend I get to go out and do what I love and do the job for real next week at Daytona on the road course and
There you go.
run the 14-hour race and I think this kind of it just every time that we can knock off a win like this, it puts more momentum and more
You
confidence in
carry
me
that
and then
momentum to real life next week, and then you bring it back to iRacing and just keep going back and forth, Joseph.
hey, that's what we need to do, brother. That's what we need to do.
You do it, man. Keep it going. I wish you the best of luck next week, obviously, in Daytona.
I
And
appreciate it. There'll be a link for the race, and I'll post it in Discord for everybody to watch. You can cheer us on.
awesome, awesome. Absolutely, we'll do that. Joseph, do you have anyone you want to thank why we got you in the booth here?
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank the Yenishes for their help tonight. They're at the end. I can't appreciate them enough. Again, sorry about the contact, Jeff. Thank you very much for all the pushing. I want to thank Red Camel Racing. I got a brand new fire suit that's going to be in this week that I get to show off at Daytona this upcoming week. So go check them out at redcamelracing.com. Harpoondesigns.com. Go check them out. They make all kinds of beautiful paint schemes, whether it be real life or custom made specifically for you. Go check it. Of course, I want to shout out Driven Motorsports, all my teammates, you for an awesome broadcasting each and every week. I love hearing you up there in a booth. It's a lot of fun. I normally spend my Sunday nights or my Mondays watching listening to the races I'm going on for my first run of the week. So can't appreciate you enough. All the admins and everything, they work hard each and every week. Can't thank them enough. And now we just go have some more fun in round 2 of the playoffs.
Man, I appreciate all the compliments there, Joseph, and absolutely congratulate you. It's always fun having you up here in the booth, and look forward to it some more after you get back from Daytona. But, man, when you're down here in Florida, kick some butt, buddy.
I plan on. I'm gonna give it a try, brother.
You did it tonight, so let's carry it on and do it again, and I'll be tuned into the stream if you post
Hey,
that
I
link in
appreciate it.
Discord, man.
I'll send you a picture of the car. That way you know who to look out for.
Absolutely. I mean, if I could, I'd just go broadcast the thing for you.
Yeah, just check out Champ Car Endurance series on YouTube. That's who's going to be doing the broadcast. A lot of really fun people in the commentary booth. So they do a really good job. It's going to be fun to be out there.
Good deal. Well, good luck to you, Joseph, and congrats once again. And we'll see you in the next round of the championship.
Thank you, brother. See you guys next week.
See you, buddy.
Later.
All right, race winner right there. Joseph McWhorter driving a 73. And, man, I'll tell you what, in an exciting finish, Jesse Bunnell, driver of the 96 car, Vern Bradley in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Sure do, man. What's going on?
Man, I'll tell you what, you had a fast hot rod, no doubt about it, and you were there at the end. You just needed a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, we didn't need that last caution. I don't feel like that ended up hurting the team more than it helped us. I think we were sitting pretty there with I don't know 5, 6, 7 to go, and that caution came out. But that's part of racing, man. It happens. But yeah, we were close. We were real close. It was a good battle. Top 10 all night long. Our team normally rides in the back, tries to stay out of trouble, but we went for it tonight. Stayed up front all night. A couple of the guys had trouble, but overall, it's pretty good showing for the AW Motorsports.
Yeah, for 99% of it, I mean, your team looked real good out there with you. And
Yeah.
what was going through your mind when that caution come out? I mean, what What was going through your mind? How were you communicating with the team, and what kind of strategy did you have from that point on?
Yeah, I mean, when you're super speedway drafting, you never really know. It's not like you can just get in a line and take off from the rest of the guys. So we knew they were going to be coming, but we were all lined up, so we could kind of manipulate it a little bit. When the caution came out, guys start, they switch lanes on the restarts, and we were lucky that we were all lined up on both restarts. And then I think Johnny got messed up in one, and then Hunter got messed up the second restart. So it was just me and Tyler, and he pushed me all he could, man. I told him during the race when he got behind me, I said, "Well, I got the best pusher on the racetrack behind me." So those guys were just stout. Joseph was real good, and he had I think he had Steve behind him, maybe a Jeff, I don't know, but those guys are all real fast, and I knew they were going to be tough to beat, man. We just missed it. I mean, I can't complain. It was a good points night. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss going out of town next Sunday, so we're really hoping to get the W to advance to the next round of the playoffs. So we'll see how it shakes out. But overall, we gave them hell, and we gave them a good showing for sure.
Man, you definitely did that. I mean, you drove the wheels off of it. The 11 stayed planted there at the end, but it looked like the inside line just got a little bit more push right when they needed it.
Yeah, and we were on the bottom though there, before, and they were beating us on the top a little bit. So when Joseph gave us the top on that last restart, I thought we'd be in good shape, man. But they just had them lined up, and they were pushing really strong, and guys had contact, and I think I don't know, I hadn't seen a replay, but I feel like Tyler and I probably got left hung out with just two of us there coming to the checkered flag, which really hurt us.
That's absolutely what happened.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
watching that.
kind of what I figured. It seemed like we lost a pretty good bit of speed, but I appreciate everyone's help. I appreciate what y'all do.
Well, the inside line, I mean, they just everybody packed down there, and it left you in the 11 out there by yourself. And I think if you could have kept a car up there, that it probably may have even made the difference in the end of it, Jesse.
Maybe so, but that's why you got to run all the laps, right?
Well, I'll tell you, there's nothing wrong with second though.
No, we'll take second.
That's a
man.
good Talladega. Yeah. You come out with a clean car and second, that's a good Talladega, buddy.
You're absolutely right, man. Yep.
So, do you did you thank everybody? I think you already did, didn't you? I think you beat me too.
No, I hadn't. I didn't this week. I'm normally pretty quick on the draw to do that, but I hadn't had a chance. I just want to say thanks to my wife Amanda, my mom Barbara, Aunt Lisa, and father-in-law Mike and Kathy. They're watching. I think the grandkids are watching. They're out west right now, so
well, I
hopefully
want to
they
thank
got
them
a
all
good
too.
show.
Then,
Yeah, I hope that was a good one for them to watch. Part of the reason probably why we ran up front, and started riding in the back tonight, so they'd have something to watch. So it turned out pretty good.
man, you definitely put on a show with for them, and you put on a show for me and everyone else, Jesse. And congrats on the second place finish, man. Enjoy it. And are you racing next Sunday? What's the?
No, we're headed to the Masters, actually. I was fortunate enough to get a hold of some tickets, and I'm going to take my father-in-law, Mike, and a couple buddies, go down there, down to Augusta, Georgia, and be a part of that. Something I've always wanted to do. So, unfortunately, we're going to miss it, but it'll be well worth it.
Yeah, go enjoy that, man. You enjoy any bit of that time you can get. That's what that's all about. And enjoy the weather down there in Georgia when you go.
Thank you, man. I appreciate what you guys do. Good job.
No problem. Thank you, man, and congrats once again on the P2 finish. Have a good night, buddy.
You too, sir. Thanks.
So Jesse Bennell right there, 96 car. And an exciting finish for this driver, and I can't wait to get him up here. Dakota Floyd, Vern Bradley, how you doing, buddy?
Good, Vern. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, and I'll tell you what, it was a crazy finish. Tell us about it from the the driver's seat of that 57 car.
Oh my God! Well, the events leading up to it was a little unfortunate because we were actually off that lead pack when they had that checkup in turn one, and nobody actually ended up causing a caution, so we actually fell off. So that last caution was a blessing. Got us up into the middle of that pack, and then it seemed like there was quite a few cars in front of me on that last restart that were a little banged up, and I was able to get a good run to get around them. And then I actually told myself, I was like, man, who do I want to win this race? Because I didn't have anybody to make a third lane, so I just got behind somebody and started pushing them up.
I'm going to go
And
ahead and tell you, man, I didn't even know where you come from.
yeah, I honestly didn't even expect to finish up that far because we had fallen off, but those cautions really blessed to give me that position there at the end.
Well, it looks like that 57 car just picked up the pace when it needed to there towards the end to propel you to the top 3. And honestly, if the things would have shook out a little differently between them first two, I believe you might have come home with that one.
You know what? And I was thinking about it too. I was like, man, they're getting really squirrely. I've got nobody near me. If they end up tapping, I might be able to shoot it up in the middle, but they kept it clean, and I was able to fortunately hold it in third.
So you were completely sideways at the line. I'm watching it right now, and you were literally completely sideways at the line. So did you know you finished third at that point, or did you have to get out and take a look at it?
I did not know I finished third. As I was spinning, I was in third before the line, and as I was spinning, I was like, I feel like one of those two cars got past me. So I waited for the timing and scoring to catch up, and instead I was in third. So it couldn't have been by much.
It's the way it unfolded behind you. The 27 car hooking the 11, and that changed the whole thing. It allowed you to slide sideways by yourself into the third position, and I believe the 11 was fourth, the 27 fifth probably, and then the 3 car winded out the top 6 there at the end. But man, that was crazy.
I honestly couldn't have imagined a better way to finish the race because it was green for the most of it, and I expected a little aggressiveness at the end, but I didn't expect it to get that crazy.
So, I mean, for the most part, that caution that flew when you were some seconds off that lead pack, that was the game changer.
That is exactly what we needed because, and here's the thing too, we were already in the back, and we knew that if there was going to be multiple green and white checkers, we weren't going to make it on fuel. So we actually ended up pitting again to top off to make sure we had enough fuel, put fresh tires on, just to make sure we were in the best possible position. And then another caution ended up flying after that, and then some guys had to come and pit and then put us in the position we had to be in.
Well, tonight was your first start here, wasn't it?
Yes, it is my first start with this league.
So first start, and I don't know. I'm not going to call that beginner's luck, man. You're darn good plate driver, Dakota, and I know that for a fact. So,
well, it's finally my plate track blues have come to an end. I always seem to find myself in a really bad spot at the end of most plate races.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I'm glad I was finally able to put myself in a good position for once.
That doesn't define how good of a plate driver you actually are, because you're a really good plate driver, and we know how Daytona and Talladega are. They just you got to have the luck. It's not just about skill. You got to have the luck too.
You got to hope they're smiling down on you that day, and you're not ended up in a meatball on pit road. Well,
I've watched that over enough now. I think if I hit the rewind button and do it again, it's going to break everything. But man, you put on a stellar finish here, Dakota.
I greatly appreciate it. It was definitely a lot of fun to run it up front at the end, as opposed to because I was in the back for most of the race, so it was good to have a good show there at the end.
And your first Sunday night race with the American SimRacing League ends with you on the podium, buddy, and in the broadcast booth. And I can't congratulate you enough. In fact, you hear the excitement when you go back in the broadcast.
I trust me, I was just as excited because. And these guys are really fast. I've watched the broadcast of the other races. I know these guys are really good, and I'm really looking forward to this upcoming season to be a rookie and learn to race around these guys. So
there you
I'm really
go.
Excited to see the future.
That's awesome, Dakota. Good attitude to have. And do you have anyone you want to thank while we got you in the booth here tonight?
I just want to, thank you first, Vern, for putting on this broadcast. You pulling triple duty now that you're broadcasting both leagues over in WFO and you're broadcasting over here. So we can't thank you enough for putting on these awesome shows and all the viewers out there watching. And thanks to my teammate John. He stuck with me for most of that. He had an unfortunate pit strategy come down on him, so he couldn't finish up there with me. But 61 Motorsports always got to thank the teammates.
There you go, man. Keep everybody in there.
Absolutely.
Oh, you guys put on a great show out there, though. I enjoy it. I know I do it 3 nights a week in the booth now, and I'm enjoying it this season, and I'm kind of loving actually not even being on the track. There's sometimes I want to be there, but for the most part, I'm glad I'm up here.
Well, we're glad to have you up here because you definitely put on a good show for us to watch back.
Well, I enjoy it. You guys put on a great race. Make my job easy. Always remember that. But Dakota, have a good night, buddy. Enjoy that top 3. Tell John I said hi, because I always tell Mr. and Mrs. Sanu I say hi.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, Vern.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, well, I'll see you Tuesday night.
Yes, you will. Hopefully another top 3 in Atlanta.
That would be awesome, man. Good luck to you, Dakota.
All right, Vern. I appreciate it.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
So Dakota Floyd right there in the 57 car. Always fun to talk to him. Him and John Sanu. Good people. How about that 3 car, though? How about that? Paul, good finish, buddy. Top 6 right there, right at the line. And I think I replayed it enough. I really do. I went through and I replayed it, but the viewers seen what I seen. It just great racing here. If you don't give that a like, I don't know what's wrong with you. You got the top 3, the third place driver, the 57 car, sideways at the line, 11 car, 27 car, and that 3 car right there just sneaking in there and getting a top 6 finish when hell was breaking loose. But that's going to do it for Talladega, chase race number 2. And man, it was exciting. I told you it would be. I told you, and I wasn't making that up. I told you it would be exciting, and it absolutely was. Once these points settle out, though, unfortunately, some things might change there. So I'm not going to have that right now, but I have it for you next week because I believe they got one more race next week to settle out this first round here. And where did we say that was at? Texas? I can't remember. I'm going to look at the schedule real quick, though, so we know. Down to there. Texas. That's right. Texas Speedway next week before we go to Las Vegas. So Texas is going to, I think we might get down to our top 8 after Texas Motor Speedway. There's going to be some guys battling for survival there to try to stay in that top 8. But there's 2 drivers who's not, and we know who they are. Driver of the 73 pulling off the win here tonight, Joseph McWhorter. And the driver of the 63 pulling the win off last week, Johnny Avila. So we're going to take you through the results real quick. And after that, we'll close it out because we're headed to Texas Motor Speedway next week. It's been a great one, though. So let's pull up these results for you if I remember how to do it. There's your top 10. Your race winner, once again, the 73 of Joseph McWhorter. Back in P2 was the 96 car, Jesse Bennell. Dakota Floyd slid sideways for the 3rd spot in the number 57 car. And then Tyler Seville's number 11 brought it home 4th. Steve Yiddish in the 27 car in the 5th position. In 6th position, that 3 car right there, Paul Crumry. 89 car, Jeff Yiddish 7th. Hunter Waters, 8th place in the 7 car. 46 car, 9th place, that's Ray Polking. The 24 car, back in 10th is Bentley Glazer. Let's take a look at the next 10. So in 11th, we got that 63. He's locked in. That's right. He's going to have fun in Texas next week, too. 63 car, Johnny Avila in 11th. John Sanu able to bring the 86 car home in 12th. 75 car, Chuck Sweeting 13th, back in 14th. The 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. Richard Fletcher's 43 car, 15th position. 16th was the 19 car of Dwayne Hunt. Cody Williams, 17th in the 12th car. Justin Gann, 18th position in the 30 car. 19th, 90 car, Kyle Bromer. Adam Matt's going to bring the 9 car home in the 20th position. Oh, that's the wrong button, so we'll try this one. Next 10. The gentleman Gary May right there in the 5 car, 21st. The 40 car, Charlie Woods, 22nd position. In 23rd, the 93 of Patrick DeSalinier. The 51 car, Jason Mollison, 24th. William Kemp's 09 car, 25th. Back in 26th, the 52 of Jason Day. Todd Craze, 21 car, going to bring it home in 27th tonight. In 28th, the 72 car, Jerry Cochran III. And Dylan Butler, 74 car in 29th. 30th, that was the 91 of Levi Polo. That's going to do it. 30 cars right here at Talladega Super Speedway with the American Sim Racing League's Elite Series. We are certainly glad that you have stayed tuned into the broadcast here and you've seen an exciting finish at the end. As always, week in and week out, these drivers at the American Sim Racing League do that. They appreciate all the comments in there, all the likes that you give them in a broadcast. The like's not for the commentator. It's not for me. I don't need it. But these drivers, they deserve it. They earn it week in and week out. Let's do it for them. And other than that, come back and see us 8:20 p.m. Eastern. Next Sunday, we're going to battle again in Texas Motor Speedway. I want to thank everyone over here at the American Sim Racing League. I love coming in here on Sunday nights and doing these things. And, man, it's just a ton of fun. And the end of that one, I think you could hear the excitement in my voice again. It's just a ton of fun to do this stuff. But that was it for your results, and we're going to see you next week. But that's going to be it for me, so I'll give you some closeout music. Go ahead and enjoy it.